everybody. I am in the car. I have decided that this is going to be, I feel like that was really obvious. I'm in my husband's car, in his truck. He would get mad at me if I called it a car. He's not in here right now, but he will be in a second to give his initial thoughts about our book, because we are going to do a car vlog for Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it's going to be so much fun. He's actually on his way here right now. Yes, Lazy Book Club pick for May 2025. We are reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it is a husband-wife vlog. I am very excited about it, and I'm curious how he's like thinking about the book so far already. But we are on chapter 3. We just started, and pretty excited about it already. So we're gonna just get right into the vlog. If you don't know what the Lazy Book Club is, it is a book club where I just kind of do a vlog and we talk about spoilers, and yeah, that's kind of what it is. So you can read the book whenever you want and come back and watch the video. So we're gonna get right into spoilers. I'm not gonna waste any time. He's here, so we're gonna get his initial thoughts about what he thinks about the book. Okay, he is officially in the car. There he is.
Hi.
They're kind of far away because it is in his truck. We are up to, I think I said, chapter 3 in the book, and so far I'm enjoying it. I really like that it feels straight up like a video game, and I think that's so much fun. Like, we just got to a section, you can talk about spoilers all you want to. We just talked about a section, or we just got into a section that had the achievements. The achievements were so funny. I wish that I could like remember exactly what they were, but we read them probably like a week ago.
I completely forgot the book already. And then you said achievements, and I completely remembered the book again. So as he enters the dungeon, he gets an achievement for having the cat.
Oh yeah,
Cat Lady.
Princess Donut. Is
yes,
that
Princess Donut.
Yeah.
Gets an achievement for not wearing pants, I think, into the dungeon.
Oh yeah, because he's wearing boxers, a
Yep.
leather jacket, and her Crocs. Is it her Crocs or slippers?
He's in Crocs.
Crocs, yeah, it's like pink Crocs or something like that. So it's already really
Hilarious.
funny. So I would say that I'm enjoying it so far.
I would say I'm in frame now. But anyway, it's really good so far.
He kept leaning that way so you couldn't see his face.
It's definitely got the vibe, I would say, of Ready Player One, except taking the post-apocalyptic theme way further, because everybody's dead.
Yeah, I was a little shocked at the beginning when it was like, all the buildings flattened. I was like, that's kind of gross. And immediately off the bat, it was someone was beheaded, which I wasn't expecting for some reason it to be like that. Oh, and the goblins. I forgot about the goblins. He was trying to get into the guild.
The Gerblins.
Yeah, he was trying to get into the guild. It's so, if you guys don't watch that much or do that much D&D stuff, or watch it or listen to it, anything like that, a big thing in D&D in like level 1 is coming across goblins. So it was very appropriate that goblins were like the very first thing that he faced. So that was pretty cool. So it's definitely written by somebody who knows video games and D&D, which is fun.
It's like all nerd culture. I'd say it reminds me the most of Diablo so far. I mean, the old school Diablos where you literally would walk into a room and it's a dungeon in front of you and you progress. And also they called the guild master Splinter, which was the first thing I said when they said they were giant rats. So I mean, we got Ninja Turtles references. It's gonna get deep real quick. He's
gonna know a lot of more references than I'm going to. You may have to look up some of the stuff that he brings up, because I doubt anybody on here knows what Diablo is. If you know what Diablo is, let him know that you know what Diablo is. No.
It's the oldest dungeon crawler of all time. I never even played the early ones, my friends did. But Diablo 3 is like WoW's counterpart. Everybody knows what WoW is, too.
No, they don't.
If you're telling me they don't know who Michelangelo and Master Splinter are, I don't know if I can be a part of this channel anymore.
Well, no, you said WoW. That's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You think you are telling me that World of Warcraft is less in the lexicon of us than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I think way more people know what Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are than World of Warcraft.
Get in the comments. Bet. Bet more people know who WoW is.
Right about that.
No,
what are you talking about?
There are so many people out here. Get in the comments. WoW is way more popular than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'm not saying it's not more popular. I'm saying this audience is going to know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles way more than World of Warcraft.
I prefer Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but we'll see.
Yeah, okay, anyway, we're enjoying the book so far.
It's really good.
So we're probably going to listen to a couple chapters and then just kind of update as stuff happens. It kind of just depends what happens. Our normal vlogs, he's never seen one, but our normal vlogs, if something exciting happens or something happens, we'll jump on and talk about it. But otherwise, so far, it is a good time. The narrator is okay. He likes the narrator more than I do. It's just fine. So anyway, we're going to read more and we will talk to you in a second. We are back with another update. We are 30% into the book, chapter 16, and we were just recapping what happened, and I realized that that's what we're supposed to be doing in the video. So I think where we left off last was... What did I say it was? It was getting into the guild hall.
They just got into the guild hall.
Okay, so then we went and did, like, the guild introductions, which was really cool, and Princess Donut's whole thing was really, really funny. Although we were a little skeptical at first. We thought Donut was going to be, like, more just, like, kind of a human, and we weren't sure how we were going to like that.
I thought Donut was basically just going to control the whole narrative. She had insane stats, which would mean that she could just tell Carl what to do, and I thought that wasn't going to be fun.
Yeah, which she basically is, but it's really funny the way that she does it.
It's not that bad.
So they already kind of talked about it, because at first she was trying to do that, and then Carl was like, I'm not going to do that. And she was like, just kidding, I'm not going to do it anymore. And her stats are crazy. Like, I love the stats.
Insane.
Yeah, I love that she has 25 charisma, which is actually insane.
Carl has like 5.
Carl, I think, has 3.
Carl's strength is like 8, and hers is 11.
Yeah.
Like, and now it's higher probably now.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But anyway.
Now that we're in the book, I think they're level 7s, I think,
Yes,
is what they
they're
just
right at
said.
level 7.
So we did that, and then I love how they did the guild, and it kind of, like, gave you an understanding of what was happening in the world without feeling like it was telling you everything about the world. So I like how they did that. And then after they got out of the guild...
They wandered, killed a few things, found the meth, and then...
Oh, the llama.
The llama.
The llama that had meth in it. That was great.
It's because he's a drug dealer. And then they found Tolly. That's who I was trying to remember.
Oh,
the dwarf.
the safe area.
Zone.
The safe zone. And they met the little dwarf thing, or goblin?
He's a dwarf.
Dwarf thing that was cooking for them. We love that part. That part was really, really funny.
He making food.
Yeah, and then, oh yeah, they watched the opening episode.
Of the show, yeah.
Of the show, and it's kind of weird. Like, it's weirdly planned out. And Princess Donut was pissed off that they weren't featured. I assume that we're going to potentially meet some of the people that we saw on that, because of, like they made a point to talk about the little girl with the Rottweilers. I feel like we're going to meet her at some point, actually.
We have to meet her at some point, because Carl's going to advance lower. We also met our first dead crawler.
Oh yeah, that was really sad. The dead woman who Keith was it Keith?
Nope, we were on the hunt for Frank Q.
Was it Frank Q? Was it Frank?
Yes, it was.
Okay. To me, he's Keith. So another crawler killed her, so that's interesting, and then looted her body, which really sucks. And then is that when we went into the boss fight?
Yep.
The boss fight was really sad.
It was.
Like, this book is teetering between horrifically sad and super funny, because, oh my gosh, because she obviously was a human woman, the boss.
And she spoke Spanish, which confused Carl.
I thought it was Italian.
No, but it was Spanish.
It was Spanish? It was really
Vamos.
sad.
She said lo siento, which is sorry.
Oh, that's true.
the only reason I know it's Spanish.
It was really sad that he had to kill her, and they were really sad about it, but I guess you gotta do what you gotta do, because she kept spitting out things that were trying to kill them, so
this isn't real life anymore. It's a dungeon.
Was really traumatizing, that whole section, to be honest. And then, what happened after that?
Finished that, they watched the highlight of the show, they learned that the boss they killed was not really a big boss, but a crappy boss, because another team killed a big boss.
Oh yeah, and they were
off
featured.
Donut.
But it was like 10 crawlers, and Donut's like, let's go take one out by herself.
Yeah, city boss. No, there was one city boss. And she wanted to go find a city boss, because the city boss had killed 2 people earlier. That was what it said about that.
Yeah.
She's like, we'll go kill the big one.
So, and then what happened after that? What are we at right now?
They just wandered into the goblin area, because Carl has... The stairs popped up, so they want to find a way to... They've toured their little area. They needed transport. They went to the goblin area to get a bike.
And Carl has the pass thing, so he's friendly with goblin mobs. And then Donut convinced them...
With her charisma. They started sobbing, and all sorts of stuff is happening at the goblin camp. I think that's about it. I think that's the total recap. I think that's exactly where we stopped, is they now have transportation. They're going to find stairs, try to get down.
Mm-hmm.
We also learned in the goblin camp, the most important thing to me was that the mobs are told that if they kill crawlers, they advance down, and that's how they become safe.
So that kind of gives them a purpose.
Which is definitely not what's happening.
I think it is. I think
it is not at all.
I just don't think they can.
It's all a setup. It's all a setup.
It's sad. Anyway, so far liking it. I'm
really,
really enjoying it. The audiobook's really good.
It is.
You're still enjoying it too?
I like the guy that sounds like Putty.
He does sound like Putty. So I think that's pretty much the whole update, is we're enjoying it. There's nothing really to critique. It's sadder than I thought it was going to be. but the humorous parts are really good, and he did a really good job with Princess Donut. I feel like Princess Donut, a talking cat, could go in a kind of weird direction, but I think he's done a really good job with the talking cat.
Agreed.
Okay, well, that's the update. We're going to try and read more of it. We were out all Saturday, so we were able to listen to quite a bit of it. So hopefully we'll be able to listen to more, but it is getting late in the month. It's May 24th. So this is definitely getting pushed to June.
Yes.
This book is long too, so I'll bring the book next time. I don't think I've shown the book yet, but I'll bring the book next time so I can hold up the book between us or something, if I remember. Okay, we are 100 pages from being done with Dungeon Crawler Carl. I don't actually know the percentage. I was checking the percentage. What were you doing?
Nothing. What now?
What were you doing?
I wasn't doing anything.
We're on page 318 or in chapter 37. Again, I don't know what the percentage is for that.
How many chapters are there?
Well, it's the book is 427 pages.
And we're on what page?
318.
27, 318. That is 110 left. Call it 3/4. We're about 75% because that would be 330.
Okay, so we're about like 70-something% into the book. And Lucas is going to give me a recap because I don't remember what we haven't talked about.
So I think when we last left off, we had just had them kill some goblins or something like that. Anyway, basically the only thing that's happened since then is that Carl and Donut have found a new band of people to be with, which is the older folks home.
Oh yeah, the older folks home. And we've gone down, we went down a level.
Yeah, but so older, time. Meet the old folks, kill the neighborhood boss, big roly ball of doom. Mm-hmm. Then advance down a level of stairs. Mm-hmm. Lose Agatha because that's important.
The talk show.
Oh yeah, talk show happened with Odette.
Yeah. Odette.
The weirdest character you've ever met in your life. Crab legs, human body with giant boobs, and a bug face.
But it was all fake.
Yeah,
it was all like
fake.
she removed herself from the outfit.
Well, because she doesn't have legs. Remember, the dungeon gave her crab legs.
Oh, well, no, it gave her the ability to use any legs of anything she's like killed.
Anything she killed.
Yeah. So that was her like ability thing when that happened. So we did that, the talk show. So Princess Donut was super happy that they were on the talk show. And then we're down in level 2, and I feel like not that much has actually happened in level 2, right?
They did drug them for the show, which was very interesting. And they were on a boat, which was really weird. Because Carl kept mentioning that he knew they were on a boat because he could feel the water.
Oh.
Because he was in the Coast Guard or something.
I don't remember
that's his backstory.
I must have like blacked that out. What has happened on the second level?
So once they got to the second floor, they learned about the grubs. They killed the dingoes, and we know how much Donut hates dogs. Mm-hmm. She learned a few new spells, found out about the moonshine and the people that bake the moonshine, and then
it's like a MLM. I thought that was really, really funny, the MLM situation. And then they accidentally got dragged into the boss fight.
So they were trying to farm moonshine, and they were outside the boss room, and then they got the achievement for new achievement.
Yeah.
Bosses don't have to stay in their rooms.
Which is such a shitty thing to do.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, and so what we just did, which is arguably the most important thing that we have learned on the second level or whatever, is there's a lot of conspiracy and political movings behind the scene that Carl and Princess Donut are not supposed to know about, but they just got visited by an admin because they're super, super, super popular. So an admin has been given to them as their PR person to set up their interviews that they're going to be doing. But we just learned from Mordecai and the admin person that the corporation that's running it is going bankrupt or already bankrupt.
Borant is going bankrupt.
Yeah, and so it seems like another company seems like they would be buying them out, but what Borant is trying to do instead is end the games early because they can't see any of their profits from the games until the games end. So they're trying to make as much money as possible in the shortest amount possible and end the games early. So they're actively trying to kill people, and that explains why they have had so many bugs. So they explained that apparently Borant has been issued like a bunch of warnings for all of the
person eating toilets.
Yeah, all the different bugs that they've been having. And it seems like the bugs are on purpose to try and speed the game up and kill more people. So that's interesting. I wasn't expecting the first book to get so into like the politics of like the alien species already and that type of side of things. Like I didn't fathom that was going to be like really that important for some reason.
I thought this one would be way more straightforward. He's going to grind through like 2 or 3 levels, and then you're going to expand into a universe of bigger stuff, like you just said. I mean, that's exactly how you would expect one of these to go. So getting that far in depth in book 1 leads you to believe, in a series as long as this one, that we're going to get very, very involved in interstellar politics.
Which we might not, again, for the rest of this book, because there's only 100 pages left, and we're still only on level 2. And we still have quite, like 4 more days.
They have level 2. Yeah, they have like a day and a half until their next TV show. So yeah, that'll be halfway.
Yeah, so it's like so it's like still a lot of time. So is it gonna be like 2 floors per book or something?
Could be. I think my current theory resides that Carl and Donut are going to be surviving, and they're going to get a bunch of offers to get taken out. I think they're going to be. So we went from, I think when we last updated, there were 6 or 5 million people still alive, and we're under 1.9 now. I think the last time you looked at the clock, it was 1.8. And I think that they're going to survive, and you're going to end up with them being offered to get out of the dungeon like Mordecai got. It's going to be like, all right, you can leave now. We'll buy you out, indentured servant thing that they do for the dungeons. I really think that's what they're going to keep offering him. And I was about to say, they're going to turn it down. He's going to keep turning it down and keep trying to go through the dungeon. So
okay, yeah, because there's like 8 books, I think another one like just released or something, so there's a lot. I also like how he wasn't there with me for this, but if you look at the side, you can tell. So it's book 1. I think originally it was just supposed to be a trilogy. Did you see it? So 3 lives, and then once you get to the later books, they just keep adding skulls.
They keep adding skulls?
Yeah. Nice. So like the current book has like 1 million skulls like on the bottom. So I think originally it was supposed to potentially be a trilogy. But they just keep adding lives.
You sure that's not his kill count, because the skulls go by yourself when you kill
someone?
No,
because book 2 has 2. Book 3 has 3.
Yeah, but he hasn't killed anyone yet.
And then book 4 has 4. Book 5 has 5.
Maybe he kills one person per book.
Anyway, it's a counter to tell you what book that it is. But yeah, I'm enjoying it still.
He got his boxers.
Oh yeah, he just got the stupid. Actually, they're on here, I think.
Yep.
The heart, the red heart boxers. So that was fun. But I think that is the recap. That is where we're at. What's about to happen?
The only other major highlight that I would go is he got an item named after him. The Carl's Chugaboom.
Okay, yeah.
He made that himself. I thought it was really cool. But anyway, we are currently them trying to move everyone. So they're moving the old folks home, getting them prepped for the stairs.
Yeah, to the stairs. Because the old people might as well just go down the next stairs.
They might as well sit in stasis. They're not going to farm or do anything. So
they might as well go down.
I agree.
Yeah, so I think that is it. We're enjoying it still. It's still, I feel like I talked about it last time. The only part of the book that I'm actually not like super enjoying is the more grosser aspects of it, like the humans being the bosses and being like forced. I don't know. It just gives me the ick because it's a little gross. So it's not going to be a 5-star for me. Is it going to be a 5-star?
Oh, it's probably
it's still got 100 pages.
Straight down the alley of what I enjoy in sci-fi book stuff. So I mean, it's entertaining, it's funny, and it's serious enough when it's not being funny.
Okay, so he's loving it. I am enjoying it a lot. I'm not like I literally could hear you doing it.
Yeah, I know.
I am
it's like I meant
enjoying the book immensely. I just have a couple of like icks, and it's mostly the fact that the humans are taken to be the bosses. I don't know. Sometimes it just gets a little too gross for me, and you guys know I don't like super gross stuff. So I think that's the update. We should be finished this hopefully soon. Like both of us kind of just want to keep listening to it and finish the book. So hopefully this will be coming out next week sometime is kind of the goal. But we'll see. It kind of just depends if we have time, because if he's busy and I'm busy,
it'll be.
Yeah, it's going to be what's going to be. So we are going to continue listening to this, and hopefully it has a really interesting ending. And I assume we're going to just keep reading the series.
I'm going
is my assumption. Okay.
I planned on continuing if you got bored with it, and there will be no further updates in it. It'll just be me. But if she decides to continue, then I plan on reading it together as long as you want to.
Yeah. So that'll probably be in wrap-ups, so he might get pulled in for wrap-ups in the future if we continue reading this book. So anyway, we are going to continue listening to the book, and we will see you in the next update. All right, we have finally finished Dungeon Crawler Carl, and Lucas is going to give you a recap.
That was on purpose. Last left off, they had just got their new
The admin,
who is Zev. Zev fills them in on that little part of politics that goes on. That's what we just talked about. So after that, they get out of their safe room, which is infested with all of those weird little bugs.
Oh yeah, so they bring up the cleaner bugs. They clean up the levels.
Janitor.
Yeah, the janitor mobs, and it turns out that there's like a certain level that you can hit and they no longer spawn, but it's like, was it like 15,000 or something like that?
They could have 5,000
That's what it is,
in their
5,000.
area, but every time you kill one, the next one comes, and then on top of that, they can eat their own, and the whole point of those bugs was that they can make bigger bugs.
Yeah.
So they eventually, we later find out, become like Beedrill style things that shoot poison.
Yeah, so they kind of get mobbed by those.
Even though they don't attack. They're
and
just alive.
And they kind of get saved by the old folks. They show up on that bus thing.
Well, they don't get saved necessarily, they just meet. If you remember, they come out of the zone they were in, and the bugs stop. Because they're confined to an area, and they meet up with each other.
Yeah, so old folks' homes show up.
Yep.
We kind of chat with them about stuff.
They have made a parade float to haul the old folks home with an unbreakable chain that they got from killing a neighborhood. They killed their own neighborhood boss.
Did they?
Yeah, they did, because it stayed in the room, because Carl immediately asked Brandon, did it leave the room? Because it was like the balloon monster or something. It was super easy to kill with the bow and arrow.
Yeah. And then disaster strikes, and is it Jack or John?
I don't remember. I just remember the sweet little lady that Carl's talking to, and I don't even remember her name.
Well, while that was going on, one of the older residents decides to pee on the wall. And we had learned earlier that in like a previous game, viewers really don't want to see the crawlers peeing and pooping in the hallways. So they made it a rule that if you peed in the hallways and not using a bathroom, that they were going to spawn a floor 13.
So there were punishments at first for it. Like, people got like slightly punished, but then the humans kept doing it.
Yeah.
So they finally said, yeah, we're going to summon like a level 75, level 13 thing to destroy you.
Yeah.
For peeing in the hallway.
So that thing shows up and kills... Oh man, it killed
the nurse.
Yeah, it killed one of the nurses and one of the other guys.
It killed one of the dudes and the nurse.
And then they were able to get into a safe room. And a lot of the book, like, from the point that we were at, was figuring out how to not defeat it exactly, but just get away from it, which they ended up defeating it by tricking it down.
Depends on your take on defeating.
Well, I mean, it exploded.
Did they get experience?
No, they didn't get experience because originally when you go down a level, if a monster goes down a level, it disintegrates.
Correct.
But they now, like, that was a hot patch that they fixed, that it won't kill the thing. Does it get teleported back, or does it just sit there?
What we did learn is that Carl can make cool bombs. And
yes.
Him and Donut had a super cool system to lead the elemental around, and they killed a whole bunch of stuff. They obviously didn't get the experience for the monster, but it was a cool way to eliminate the monster. Got that area cleared out so you could get the old folks to the stairs.
Yeah, and so they went down the stairs. Even though it's like early, they're gonna put themselves in stasis and just get them down. Yeah, the better way to do that. Princess Donut and Carl decide not to go down the stairs, and they go back up to continue farming.
Yeah, they go to farm levels.
Yeah, and then what happens after that?
So I think after that we get show immediately happens.
So their normal person Zev gets
Glor.
The normal person Zev gets put on like probation, so they get this other person called Mukta, and she signs them up for
a money making show.
Yeah, a show that they just were paid a lot of money to put them on. So they go on this, and it's like, it's awful. It's awful. It's like a nasty teenage boy dream show, I feel like. It's
like if you could pull the people out of Survivor when they were in like a position where they could be hurt and amplify it. Like it's like the Hunger Games, but instead of dropping the nice stuff, you made it harder on people. You know what I mean? You don't get where I'm going with this.
No.
This show is literally the dream of the people who want people to suffer on reality shows.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, so they brought on 3 pairs of crawlers, and the first pair is like a pair that is not doing very well, and they're in the middle of like a crisis situation, and they give them like this like ultimatum thing, and that they can choose to save 2 but kill another. It's such a mess. So Carl embarrasses the show host to the point it's bad. It's real bad. And it definitely are hinted that it's going to have ramifications for later books, depending on if Carl gets that far down in the levels. Because apparently the guy is like a prince or part of like a big organization, and they do not take too kindly as to what has happened.
He is a prince. He's a prince for the 9th floor, where they do like, from what we can tell based on just what we know in the first book, it's guild wars. Like factions that fight each other every season.
Yeah, but
so
we weren't
his
really...
family is hugely...
We weren't told like too much about it though. Like it was definitely like
baseline.
like kind of was just hinted at. So that I'm sure that'll come up more later, because of the... You said you wanted to bring it up, the sex tape.
I didn't say I wanted to bring it up. I said it was important.
The AI
we
sex
can't
tape.
skip ahead to that yet, because they run into their arch nemesis in the show.
Yeah. So Carl helps solve the situation with the other people and helps them get out of the situation they're in. And then the other pairing, and I knew it too, the second we brought on the show and they wouldn't show the other pairing, I knew it was going to be Frank and Maggie, the 2 that tried to kill them earlier. And we learned their kind of backstory with the daughter and what happened after the fight with Carl and stuff. So that was actually pretty sad, but...
It was very sad.
Yeah, Princess Donut and Carl both clocked that something was kind of weird with the backstory, and it didn't 100% make sense. It still feels like we're missing some information.
Something's off.
Because supposedly Maggie just strangled the daughter, even though the daughter would have survived. So we're suspicious that something else strange is going on there. So that happened.
I mean, the biggest part of that is that we learned that Maggie has like a death. She is dead set on killing Carl. And the father Frank seems out of it. Like
which I'm surprised distraught. They didn't get brought up again towards the end of this book. I was kind of expecting like them, like that to be almost like the cliffhanger of this book, was them showing up as they were going down the level or something. But
well, I mean, that was all amplified on top of that, because at the very end you got a reward. Carl got shoes. Yep. That he can't wear. Because Carl can't wear shoes because the AI is weird. Mean. And then they gave Maggie and Frank a potion that could track people, and then because Carl was being such a pain in the hind end, he upgraded it to a legendary one that could track anybody across the entire dungeon.
Yeah.
So basically, their arch nemesis have the ability to instantly track them.
Locate Carl at any time, anywhere.
And they are stealthy people, so there's a big storyline there of whenever they're going to catch up.
So I'm curious if that'll be like a next book thing, or it'll be like 3 or 4 books from now, so that we like forget about it.
And then it
pops up later. I think that would be actually really cool if they did that. And then I think that's it, right?
Get out of the show, and they have their final boss battle. They walk into like a ASPCA commercial, pretty much.
We were very concerned going into this last one, because it looked like dog fighting.
It did.
And that was, which I still didn't love, that the dingo exploded because he ate the gerbil. That was...
Yeah, I loved that Carl figured out how to like...
He could befriend the... So he took Mordecai's advice, because Mordecai said, look for the clues around the boss levels. And Carl noticed all the dingoes in the cages, and he was like, that's suspicious. So he fed them Donut's food, who was not happy about that. That part was really funny. And they turned into like friendly... Neutral mobs, which was good, because they would have been in the boss fight and would have really messed Carl and Princess Donut up.
The boss fight was a gerbil.
So the boss fight turned out to be the gerbil, and I knew when the dingo ate the gerbil, I was like, it's not done. That gerbil's exploding out of that dingo. And I'm really sad that I was right. Like, I really didn't want to be right for that one. That really sucked.
They do end up winning the boss fight. That gets them into the room. That gets them a key.
And they get to choose a pet.
And of course, Donut decides it's her pet.
Yes, and it's a little baby dinosaur looking thing, chicken dinosaur looking thing, and it keeps biting her and etc. So Mordecai lets them know. Oh yeah, it attacks them in the room, and it keeps getting...
Oh, it's red. It's always red.
Yeah, it keeps getting teleported out of the room because it keeps attacking them.
Yeah.
So they have to keep finding it, but Mordecai tells them that they have to bond it before they can go down a level. So they're like cutting it very close. So like the last like 30 pages are them kind of trying to train it to bond it before they go down a level.
They learn it's a pack animal. Donut starts teaching it, and I think how she finally bonds it at the very end.
But she was feeding it and letting it like attack stuff.
Well, yeah, but she finally bonds it at the end, saving it. Because he gets in over his head, I think, if I remember right. I
can't remember that.
Because I remember her screaming and swooping in to save him.
Oh,
and
maybe.
that was, I think that's what caused the bond.
I thought the little thing just ended up biting Donut again after that.
I think it did, but they were still bound.
Yeah. So anyway, they ended up bonding before they went down a level, and then they were picked up by Audette's show, and then it goes to the epilogue. So we don't actually see Audette's show this time, but we're just kind of backstage with Audette. And the whole book, so she kind of is talking to them, giving them some advice, and then the book ends with Audette giving them a piece of advice that we don't actually hear. So she says, you need to make this decision and it's going to make somebody very unhappy. And then it cuts. And that's the bookend. So it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting it to end that way, because I feel like everything else in this book is very like action packed. Like I said, I thought it would be like a Frank and Maggie situation thing happening, but instead it was that piece of advice. So I thought that was really interesting. We cannot make guesses as to what that means because we did start the next book. We did
straight into book 2.
Immediately start the next book, and yes. I think we've read like almost half of it, I think, at this point. So we can't say anything else. We had to go back and look through the end of this book to make sure we did not give any spoilers away for the next one, which it was kind of easy because the next book is very different than this first one.
The floor bases to kind of make it easy. We knew that this book ended as they went onto the third floor, so that and then we know where the third floor is. Yeah, it is huge.
It is very different. So I am giving it 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I definitely had an issue with the bosses. I didn't love the grotesque nature of the boss fights with like the more human people and the bosses being really, really sad. That made me sad, so I didn't love that. Loved everything else about it. It was definitely a lot darker than I thought it was going to be, so I kind of just, I love it, but my brain kind of wanted more of a silly, goofy time and less serious, and I just felt like there was almost too much serious with the nasty boss fights. So I am giving it a 4 star.
Oh, you want me to rate it now?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's a 5 for me. It kind of meets the best of the worlds. I think the comedy balances out in it. Kim has maybe mentioned before, but I read a lot of books that are just comedy. Mm-hmm. And that's all they focus on. They may have a overarching story, but comedy ties them together. I think Carl is a good blend of action, an interesting plot that's definitely dark, but they balance it with hilarious comedy. I mean, the achievements and the weird stuff that happens, and Donut being Donut, all while he's trying to cope with the fact that pretty much his whole humanity has been destroyed. It's really interesting. There was another set of books I read a long time ago that are similar-ish to this in space, and I really like them too. So,
what are they?
Hard Luck Hank. Hard Luck Hank was a dude who couldn't die. His whole body was kind of like Deadpool.
Oh.
And like he would add tumors, but he would choose to help people. So he constantly grew, which made it harder for him to fight. And there's like a 10 book, it's sad, but it's really cool. It's like a 10-book series. But it's one of those blends of there is a very serious story inside your super hilarious comedy about foot porn. So.
What?
The whole book. The whole book is that AI likes his feet.
The way you said it made it sound like your other book was like that. And I was like,
AI likes Carl's feet.
No, yeah, the foot things are very strange.
But it's funny. It's trying to give good comedic relief to something that is actually a really cool storyline.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is the book review. We both enjoyed it, which is really, really nice. Like I said, we've already continued on with the series. He might join me for like wrap-ups. I don't think this will be like a dedicated vlog series, but I do think I'll probably talk about it in wrap-ups, and he might join me in wrap-ups to talk about it, to give his rating. But we'll see. Like if this for some reason does really well, we might have dedicated vlog, but probably not.
I was only signed for 1 series.
2 series.
1.
Fairy Loot and this one.
Yeah, I was signed on for that one. The Fairy Loot one, I just picked books.
Okay, well, that's a whole series. That's like 4. That's like gonna be like four videos probably.
I was not told about this.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Anyway, that is the book. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely let me know down below what you guys thought about the book. If you guys enjoyed it, what your rating was. And kind of just our usual things, like anything that you want to talk about in the book, just let me know about. And if you don't have anything that you want to comment, but you still want to let me know that you're here, definitely leave an emoji down below So I don't think there's a dinosaur emoji. Is there a dinosaur emoji?
I don't think there is, but I have a wonderful suggestion.
Okay.
They should put a heart and the closest thing they have to underwear. For
Do
Carl's
they have boxers?
Okay,
so
they should absolutely have Carl's
a couple different ones because I don't know what they have for emojis. If there's a dinosaur, I don't know if there is. But if there is a dinosaur, boxers,
You could just
or
put
even a
rat
red
for
heart.
Mordecai. He was a little rat at the
It's
beginning.
too many.
There are options. I'm giving you options.
Okay, anything that you think goes with this book, you can leave an emoji for, apparently. There's quite a few, actually. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future content. Make sure you leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.